scare starting. Like it started.
Did you catch that on?
No, I didn't.
Alright. So...
Did you read this, by the way?
Cock.
Yeah, no, the whole thing.
Cock and also balls. So true.
Yeah.
So true.
You gotta get the whole message across.
So, where we were last time is... you had freshly arrived in Sorum.
Yes.
You were... Could you turn up the music slightly? For my sake. Because I like hearing it. Thank you. You had just met Yazsol, Zota, who had greeted you, explained who they were, and is now leading you towards the manor. Do you make any conversation as you walk, or just silent?
If they make conversation, I'll talk back, but I'm not super chatty.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yazsol is a rather anxious person, so you can see them like kind of walking and start to be like,
By like the third time they do that, Stigmata, who's just like holding her brother's hand, just like, was there something you wanted to say?
oh, I don't want to be, impolite. I just haven't, you know, I haven't, we haven't met before, and I'm just, I don't know what you've been told. I don't know much about you or your brother. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I don't want to make this awkward.
I don't, I don't really think that you could make it awkward.
Right. Because it already is.
Is it? I find that things tend to be more awkward when you point out that it is awkward.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I guess I'm just wondering what has you so nervous?
Well, I haven't met, people from the Feywild. I don't know what your expectation is, so I want to make sure that I don't disappoint.
Are you used to disappointing people?
So, this walk... They seem to fumble for a while longer and eventually pivot to trying to tell Tosca about, like, the market that you guys are walking through. Tosca is half paying attention and half just looking around for himself. But eventually, you guys arrive at the manor. It is a rather large building. It is not tall, but it is very wide. You can see it has like walls around it. It's like very courtyard. Like this is a area set aside for this family. And there are a lot more of those people that you've noticed already with Yazsol who have the snake emblems and black scales. And you notice a few of them who like aren't wearing jackets and whatnot. Even have like full-on snake tattoos on their arms, or even just like a few patches of scales. It seems to be very big visual significance for them.
Big snake motif around here.
Big snake motif around here. It's almost like their leaders are all on tea or something.
It's crazy.
Crazy. But you are brought up to the gates very quickly. They're pulled open upon the guards seemingly recognizing God's soul, and you're brought in. The entrance area is a very nice and well-kept garden, nicely pruned. There's a variety of plants, most of which you've seen before, some of which you haven't. And in the courtyard, you see a broad-shouldered young man, young Yuan-Ti man, that you have not met before. He has his hair back in a ponytail. He seems to be like, he's got his arms kind of folded, and he's chatting amicably with a tiefling of medium height, short hair, it's purple, yellow skin. It is your mother.
Oh.
Don't get your hopes up.
It's your mother.
They're seemingly standing and chatting as they wait for you guys to arrive. Do you call out to them or wait until they notice you?
I'll just walk up to them.
Okay.
I'll like.
You pick up Tosca.
I don't pick him up. He's
Come here,
he's
child.
probably heavy. I'm strong though. I'm
He-
strong as fuck.
He's relatively heavy, but
Yeah, he's dense.
able to carry him if you so wish.
Nah, I'm just going with his hand.
But as you approach, your mother looks to you and brightens up, gives kind of a smile. Gosh, I forget what you did for Stigmata's voice. I need to make her sound
It's
similar.
kind of like Eastern European mixed with like French, because she does like
She does like this. But then when it is, she puts on the French fair.
Sure.
yeah. You don't have to do it like that, because Stigmata was raised in the Feywilds by other
Yeah.
people, so I think she has more of an accent of like
Sorry, I'm thinking about it.
like what's her teacher's name?
Crow.
Yeah, I think she has more of an accent like Crow.
Fair. Stigmata.
That's good.
It is so good to see you. And Tosca. And already, Tosca's like...
Like a Vinka.
Ah!
It is like a Vinka's voice.
I can only do so many voices.
No, I love her.
But immediately Tosca's wiggling around your arms, holding his arms out for your mother. Immediately steps forward and takes him very easily. I trust that everything went over all right?
Yes. Well, I don't think. Was there something that could have gone wrong?
I don't know. I was hoping that it went relatively easily for the Lord, but I'm glad to hear as such.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he gave me this.
And she like gestures to the horns that she probably has on like her hip now.
Oh!
Yes. What a blessing.
We'll chat about that later.
Is it bad?
No,
Okay.
don't worry. It is nothing bad.
Okay.
Stigmata, Tosca. This is Ta. And Ta does a little... Hey.
Saw.
Saw.
Ta.
Saw, bitch.
Oh, dude, I'm Ta.
He does a little head incline. Love you to meet you both.
It's nice to meet you as well.
You as well. I hear that we're related.
Not by blood.
Yes, I am with that one.
So, yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Your Ta, so...
Ishu is my mother.
Ishu is your mother, and Ishu is my stepmother.
Will be very soon.
And Mama is your stepmother.
Yes.
Okay, so... Oh, you're my brother!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's lovely to meet you.
It is very nice to meet you.
He would offer a hug if you seemed like open to it.
She'll hug him.
Yeah. Well, he is broad and muscled, and like from your perspective of somebody who's like sparred with various people, you can tell that he's like a physical combatant. And he steps back and kind of gives you both a smile. Well, it's lovely to see you both. I won't interrupt your time with your mother. I'm sure you're happy to see her after a while away. Yasna has some stuff to take care of, so we'll leave you both to it. Lovely to see you as all, man. And he kind of pats Chivalry's back, and then kind of pulls his cousin away, and they go to take about clan business.
Sayonara.
For real. But Chivalry kind of shifts Tosca to be at her hip, and he's like fiddling with a jangly piece of her armor. You know, like a fidget toy.
Yeah.
So, I apologize if bringing you all here, both of you here, was a bit abrupt. I will admit, was it more than a bit impatient?
You were impatient?
Yes.
Oh.
Have you joined?
Oh, yes. No, that definitely makes more sense.
Yes. I'm very excited for you to meet everyone, but of course I don't want it to be overwhelming, so if you need to step away or anything
No,
of the sort.
Mama, I don't know if you know this, but I am a budding socialite, and I think that you should basically let me just have run the entire place and speak to whomever I like and discover my whole new family at my leisure.
Alright, so you don't want any formal introductions, you'd prefer to do it yourself?
Yeah, it might be funny. Well, I mean, if you want to. Know who I want to meet?
Who?
Your lady.
Be polite.
I'm very polite.
Of course. Come along. She kind of waves over one of the servants in the area and is just like, could you pull Ishu away from her parents, please? We would like to meet privately first. And right away the servant is like, of course, my lady. And of course, my lady.
Mama,
Yes.
are you a lady here?
No. No.
Because it kind of sounds like they are calling you a lady.
Yes, it is because of the political situation that I've been placed into in these last few days. But prior to this, they treated me more like one of their own. It is an adjustment period.
Do you think that I'll be a lady?
Well, with that horn, that stands to be seen.
Huh? Mama.
Cernus is aware of certain political connections. And this is his way of showing favor.
Forgot my charisma was -2.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave you a visual sign of his favor and protection and allegiance. It is a subtle move, but there will be other Fae coming to this wedding. So it is almost a way of staking to not mess with you, to not try to recruit you or make deals, and it is a possessive thing, but it is with them want to be protective.
Fair.
He knows that what with my new position and my relationship, obviously, with you, it would be desirable to have you as a formally part of a court. But you are not. And because he's put his claim on you, he is making it clear that you are not part of a formal court. Since members of the Wild Hunt are not part of courts.
Well, I'm not a member of the Wild Hunt either.
You don't need to tell people that, though.
Okay.
They'll see the horn and assume.
Well, are you still a member of the Wild Hunt then?
And that is a bit up in the air. I could be if I wanted. Though I have also been given permission to part ways with being a member of the Wild Hunt,
You know.
and instead be part of the Unseelie Court.
I thought you didn't much care for the Unseelie Court.
I don't, no. But, sometimes we have to make agreements to keep things easier.
Civil.
Indeed. Right in here. And she kind of, like, taps your elbow with hers to gesture you towards a door as you guys walk past it. Pushes it open with her heel, and steps into what looks like maybe like a more low-key like dining room. It's not fancy. It looks more like, you know, for a place of not like opulence as here, but clearly like a meeting space. This is more of like a private room. And kind of perched on the edge of one of the tables, looking at some papers. You've seen the art of this person before. Is a water genasi woman.
She's so hot.
Who looks to be in her late 40s. Water kind of pouring and rippling down her shoulders. She kind of straightens up her papers and looks up as you come in. Welcome.
She's so fine. Move over, Mom. I'm my own mom.
She kind of stands up and puts her papers down on the table and begins to walk over. It is lovely to meet you. You must be Stigmata.
No bitches.
No bitches. You can't.
My stepmother. Okay.
She's so pretty.
Okay.
Hi.
She laughs a little like that, and Tosca kind of like straightens up on your mom's arm. Hi. I'm Tosca. If she had already had like kind of a soft, welcoming smile, and her face softens even more. Yes, you must be little Tosca. It is lovely to meet you as well. She goes to like take his hands, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
I'll go.
He's heard vaguely of his mother and that your mother was going to see his mother and
His mama.
these things, but it is a different thing to meet in person.
Yeah.
And there is a moment of like quietness between the three of them as your mother explains like, "This is your other mom and we're gonna be a family now." And Tosca's like asking little questions like, "Did you miss me?" And she's like, "Of course I did. As soon as I found out that you existed, I was so excited to meet you." And you can see he's like wiggling excited. He doesn't get like emotional about it because he doesn't quite
Understand the gravity.
Understand the gravity. He's just like, "Oh, cool, new person." Oh, wow.
2 moms.
Moms times 2? This
Moms.
is so great.
The sequel.
Yeah. But you can see, like, with Ishu, like, there's already, like, kind of light, almost like mist-like condensation to her skin. But you can see, like, at the corner of her eyes, some faint tears, and she kind of blinks them away and squeezes Tosca's hands. We will have to spend more time together. I'm very excited. And he stands up on the table, and she, like, pulls out a little gift, and she's like, "I got this for you." And she gives it to him, and he pulls open very excitedly to find, like, a little wooden toy dagger and, like, a little book on, like, learning Draconic, since that's what Yanti speak. And they have this moment, and you're just kind of standing to your side. Yeah, your chivalry keeps looking over you and gives you a smile, like, "Thank you." Thank you.
Stigmata's like,
I know, thank you. And after Tosca's, like, enraptured with his new book, Ishu kind of turns away for a moment and refocuses on you. Stigmata,
Hi.
it is lovely to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as
Do you... She, like, kind of holds her hands out to you to, like, hold your hands as well. Do you respond in turn or no?
Give her both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She kind of takes them and gives them, like, a little squeeze, like, very determinedly holding her gaze. I'm so glad to finally be able to meet you. You are just as wonderful as your mother described you to be. I look forward to getting to know you better. I hope this isn't too forward of me, but she reaches down to one of the chairs and pulls up a little wrapped package and hands it to you. Just a welcoming gift and thank you.
Thank you.
Do you open it or do you save it for later?
I'll open it now. I'll like start to open it and like.
She nods.
Okay, yeah, I'll open it.
Yeah, you find inside a pair of leather bracers. They're a kind of a dark emerald green stain, and they have these black obsidian shards on them in a scale-like pattern. And you can add some braces of defense to your sheet.
Wow! Thanks, Mom!
I heard from your mother that you enjoy taking part in combat. And of course you're welcome. You're welcome to partake in whatever you like. If you're interested in doing things, I'm sure that Ta and the others will be happy to have your assistance. Though
You realize what that makes my AC, right?
yes,
21?
I know. It's fucking I know. But it's one of the few like items that monks can really benefit from. So I was like, the rarity level is what I've given to the others.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But yeah, get ready for the saving throws to throw hands at you.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. I think if you refresh the page, it'll give you the
Yeah, I was
AC.
gonna say, like, where the fuck is my...
Where's my fucking money?
No, it doesn't.
Huh.
Weird, whatever.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll take a look later.
Love it.
But she is very happy. And whether you want to help with clan business or not, that's besides the point. I just wanted you to be more protected.
That's very kind of you. I mean, of course it's kind of you. My mother, she said that you are very kind. So, it is not surprising in the slightest.
Thank you. I don't know how much your mother has told you, though she briefly mentioned to me. She kind of gestures over at Chivalry, who's like taking Tosca through like the draconic alphabet of being like, this is how we pronounce this letter, and those kind of things. But I heard that you want to take your time getting to know people, which is of course perfectly fine. I can have someone show you to where you can stay if you so wish, and show you to where the kitchens are, all those things. Whatever you need at all, just let me know. I will say, I am occasionally busy, but always feel free to grab one of the servants and ask them to send me a message. They can certainly come and grab me at my office. I am the mayor of Sarum.
Okay.
What's a mayor?
What's a mayor?
You know what a
I
mayor
will look it up later. I have a question. No,
Yes.
no. Me or a question.
Okay.
Okay. Was she hot?
Yeah.
When? Massive.
Banging.
Let's fucking go.
Banging.
You know I
Sneakful,
did.
But banging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Winning for real.
Yeah.
so sorry to make you so interconnected into this,
So
but
it's funny.
Yeah. But if you'd like for me to grab someone to show you around, I'm more than happy to do so. Or if you'd like to come and meet my parents, you're of course welcome to do that as well.
I wouldn't mind taking a walk with accompaniment. I've never been outside the Feywilds, after all.
I understand. Just a moment.
Yeah.
She kind of goes to the door and opens it. Nigel, could you come here, please? And there's some quick footsteps, and a young man steps in, probably no more older than 14. Blonde hair that's a bit like shaggy around his ears. He's wearing kind of like some ill-fitting leathers, but he looks very proud. He's got a sword tucked into his belt, and he has a pair of like gray and brown wings on his back. And he gives you put your head on. Hey, Mitchell. I was asked to be your guide for whatever you need. Where do you want to go?
I don't know. I don't know what there is.
Do you want me to show you your room first, or are you hungry?
Yes.
Yes, to which?
I am hungry.
Alright, let's go. This is Lucius's younger brother.
Famished.
You famished?
No, okay, let's go.
Famished. Are you real life hungry?
No.
Okay. But he brings you some kittens. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Kitchens.
do it. You know
It's
what?
like-
He knows what I like.
Mm-hmm. It's like a long kitchen with a bunch of different workstations clearly set up for like a lot of people get fed here.
Mm-hmm.
They have the people to support that. And while this is between meals, so not all the cooks are here, he quickly grabs somebody, has them whip up something fast for you, probably
Really fast, probably.
soup noodles, because they probably keep like a little bit of soup going most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have, Because Stigmata knows what she is.
Oh, that?
Yeah. Does she?
Ask.
Oh, yeah. Can I ask after, like...
Mm.
I want to ask after... carnivorous substance, al dente.
Nigel looks a bit confused, but nods a bit. Like, raw meat?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Here, come on, the larder's over here. And he steps in, finds like an ice box, digs around in it. So, like, do you have any preference to, like, what kind?
I have not tried many things outside of the Feywild that we would have. But if you... I have tried before once or twice, 3 times exactly, actually. I've tried beef.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried rabbit.
Okay.
I like all of those things. Do you keep any, like, frozen blocks of blood for, like, soups?
Oh, hold on. And he, like, pulls out a smaller, like, box inside the ice box, which looks like it's marked specifically. And he pulls out... Yeah, we, had a guest that visited sometimes that, required this as part of their sustenance. Here you go. And he holds out a little carton that's marked oxblood pudding.
Who is this for?
I wonder who
Insane.
would visit often that would require this as sustenance.
Okay, she takes it.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know what it is, so she just kind of like...
It is frozen.
Yeah, it's like a block, right?
It's in like a small container right
Okay.
now. Plastic. Not essentially, it's like essentially in like a little plastic container. And he says, usually, we were told to warm it up in some in a boiling pot of water, and then it was just good to Or like with a little spoon, because sometimes it's a little thick.
Oh.
Do you want now or later? Or...
I would take sun.
Sure. He runs back into the kitchen. And
Oh, but like she wants like a block of it.
Okay, yeah.
Like a chunk of it.
Like a frozen piece? Yeah. Because this is frozen.
Yeah.
Alright, you have it.
Okay, she takes it. She has this like flask at her side. It's like one of those like flask. But it has like a top that like pops off, like those German thingies.
Yes.
Yeah. And she puts the whole block into it and closes it, tightens it, and shakes it.
Is there anything else already in there?
Oh yeah.
just a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You go for it.
Yeah.
Make a little slushy.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's white wine in it. It's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give it a good shake.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Alright. I guess I could see my room now.
And she'll just like
Yeah, sure. And
this is
he'll
normal to him.
doesn't seem to think it's that odd.
That's a funny kid.
Lives in a very varied place.
It's fair enough.
But he begins to lead down the halls. He's telling you like bits and pieces, like, oh, and down that way is where you can find some of the offices, and I can show you after if you want, but over there is our training room. And he's just like giving you these little bits and pieces, like, oh, and one time, somebody broke in and they were murdered over there. Just like random tidbits. And at one point, as he is just showing you your door, he's like arrived at it, he's telling you where it is. He's like, oh, and the key is inside and on the desk in there. Just, do whatever you want. Laundry day is Thursday. Yeah.
Do you only do laundry day on Thursday?
Well, you can do laundry yourself too, but that's like when the servants like do. Yeah, exactly.
I've never had servants before.
It's been weird, but yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Have you not had servants before?
No.
Oh.
No, that's a recent thing.
Okay.
Mhm.
You not... Who are you related to? Because it seems like I'm related to basically everyone around here.
My older brother is doing some work, and he asked the family to take care of me while he's away. So I'm here.
And they are taking very good care of you?
Yeah, I was starting to go a little bit like, stir crazy. Because, I was just kind of sitting around all day and just kind of like, doing whatever I wanted. So I asked if I could, like, do some schooling. There isn't anyone else really my age, so I've kind of just been alone. But they were really nice and got me a tutor. And then I asked if I could, do other things, if I could, like, help out. They won't let me go on any missions. But they said I can help guard the manor. So that's something. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm sure that you are doing very good at it. And if not, you will get better.
Thanks.
You are small, young. That is what I meant.
Sure. As he's kind of like...
Stigmata totally knows a lot of common.
Totally.
Just no more.
As he's talking, so I know that somebody's bringing by your stuff from apparently where you guys lived, like tomorrow or something. So any of your belongings you want, I'm sure they'll just let you know when that arrives. Do you want me to show you like the garden, or like the training rooms, or I could show you where our safe is. I don't know how to open it.
I don't think I need to know where the safe is. I might
cool.
get tempted. But you can show me to the gardens, I suppose.
Sure. The gardens are really pretty here.
I bet.
And he is again kind of like chattering your ear off. I'm guessing Stigmata doesn't even reply to most of it.
No, she's just like looking around.
And he brings you through like this archway into an open garden. It's very, very lush and seems to almost... The atmosphere when you were outside was very much like here. Like the atmosphere of like Vancouver / Washington. That sort of like environmental.
Oh my god. Pacific Northwest, baby!
For real. But inside here, somehow when you step through the archway, there's this light humidity in the air. And looking around, you didn't travel intensely much in the Feywild, at least not far. But the plants remind you far more of one of the specific areas of the Summer Court you once visited with your mother. A more jungle-like atmosphere with these huge leaved plants, and these arching flowers and branches that block out some of the sky above. And everything's very colorful and vibrant. There's like a few people around. It looks like someone's like pruning one of the bushes. Somebody else is like sitting on a bench and reading. And there's a pair of people at the far end who seem to be chatting about some of the flowers, kind of standing close together. One of them is very tall, and the other one is like of a more average height. They're kind of lightly obscured by bushes, like most things in this room. What?
Nothing. I'm just excited about the plants.
Yeah, some of our other guests really like it here. I've shown some other people here earlier. There's like some like apparently important people here now because they like were also invited by your mom to come to the wedding. Some came early.
Is that bad?
I mean, it's not bad, but you know, it's like strangers who are around for a few weeks now because the wedding isn't for a couple weeks. But
Is your brother coming to the wedding?
I don't know.
Well, maybe he will.
Maybe.
Do you miss him?
No.
Oh, why?
He like kind of shifts awkwardly and like looks around. My brother and I aren't close.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's okay. My mom and I aren't that close either.
Does she also push off the responsibility of you onto other strangers?
No, but she pushes off her responsibilities onto me.
Relatable.
Yes. Well, you will be tall eventually. And then you can spread your wings and do whatever you want.
Well, I can already fly. I can't fly super far yet, but soon.
It's a metaphor.
What's a metaphor?
Oh. Bad tutors.
I just started school for the first time this year.
A metaphor. She explains what a metaphor is.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of like gets into it, like, and it's like, this, and it's like,
I imagine you guys are like sitting on one of the benches in the garden as
Yeah.
you're like trying to explain this concept to him. And you see like some more people come to the garden, some others leave. One person enters to like open a book and read. That is very like distinctly Fae to you.
Mm-hmm.
She has the long ears, and it becomes very difficult to determine true age with Fae, as you know. But she looks like a young woman in her mid-20s. She has like nearly white blonde hair. There's some like lilies tucked behind her ear. She's in a very simple like light blue gown, and she's reading a book and just seems to be enjoying the atmosphere. The two people at the end of the garden begin to walk back. The tall one is like walks with this like elegance and grace that you're immediately like, Faye, also Faye. Okay, great.
surrounded.
I'm surrounded. And like this, like very, the way that they hold him, like the way that he holds himself is very like, I know that
I'm hot shit.
I'm hot shit.
Is he hot shit?
He has long, curly brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like pinned back in various places with brightly colored baubles. He looks to be wearing almost like a house robe right now, maybe like dressed down currently.
Okay.
Long nails.
Work.
And there's these like chains trailing down from his ear to like this kind of like choker on his neck. And there is like a collection of embroidered roses all down the side of his robe. And half of his face is covered by like this mask. You've never seen this guy personally before, but the person at his side you have. Standing alongside him is somebody you have met a couple times before. One of the knights of the Winter Court. Sorry, not the Winter Court, the Summer Court.
Oh.
So you've really only met him in passing. A broad figure, muscled, kind of similarly dressed down in like a plain black shirt, loose pants, dark brown hair with like a little bit of gray in it. These curling
Crazy. Insane. I'm fine. Normal.
The two of them are walking and talking together. You recognize the tiefling to be one you've had good conversations with, maybe even sparred with before when you briefly visited the summer court with your mother. You know him as Salvation. Uh-huh. Go off.
I'm done.
No, go off. Do what you need to do.
Love him.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to have noticed / recognized you. He is watching.
It's because I've grown so much more luminous.
Yes. He's walking with this Fae, and they seem to be chatting. The Fae has a much more, like, at ease stance and very, like, while Salvation is, like, kind of nodding along with the conversation, but occasionally watching, like, a movement over there. Okay. I've deemed it as a non-threat, like, just kind of taking in the area. You see his, like, eyes catch on you for a moment, but seem to, like, brush over it, and then, like, alright, non-threat. You don't really see any, like, recognition.
What if I am a threat?
You're gonna attack...
Or punch.
Gonna attack the Fae?
No.
No.
He will kill me. I assume. Maybe. I need to consider if Stigmata would want to talk to him.
Well, it's one of the only other familiar faces you've seen.
That's true, but I'm really bonding with this kid. What was the kid's name again?
Nichel. I will write it down.
Nichel. Oh, Nichel.
Nichel.
Nichol.
Nichol.
Okay.
Chi-Chi.
Nichol.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be doing something else, or is this sort of what you're doing today?
No, I'm just supposed to be a guy today.
Is that what you wanted to do today?
I was told that if you decided to retire, or decided you wanted to be alone for a bit, to go back. Is this you trying to nicely ask me to leave?
I'm not asking you nicely to leave. I'm saying that I see somebody I know, and you can wait or you can go. I don't want you to have to wait for me if that is going to keep you sitting here with nothing to do.
Cool.
Alright.
I'm gonna go to the training room then.
Okay, have fun.
If anybody asks, I'm still with you. Bye.
You got it, kid.
He stands up and, like, scampers out the room. His, like, leather's kind of awkwardly, like, around. Still a bit too big.
Okay. I will... Stigmata's, like, short. She's, like... What did I say she was? She's, like, 4'11". She's small. She's so small. Sorry. I'm going to kind of like get a little bit lower. Actually, I don't know what I can get. I'm gonna sort of over. No, actually, no. I'm also Fae.
So true.
I'm gonna glide over. Like it's very exaggerated.
Give me a performance check. If you're gonna make a show of it, go off.
It's +1. -6. Wait, I have -2. 7.
I love that you have proficiency in performance, which is a charisma.
Yeah.
Considering your -2.
Listen, she's marginally good at it, I guess.
Alright. So you put your shoulders back, try to glide over gracefully. You trip over one of the bricks at the edge of the walkway, nearly like beef it on the ground, but you catch yourself.
I got high decks.
Straighten up. Totally meant to do that. Yeah. The Fae, when you like straighten back up, the Fae man has clearly like noticed you and gives like a laugh, like not condescending, but more like,
Oh, you.
oh you, you mortals.
She's not a mortal.
Yeah. And you see Salvation kind of like focus on you in that like light of recognition. I can never do his voice justice. I want you to know. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Shut up. I can't even do the thing where I mute and practice the voice for
You
a
can
second.
go to a different room.
You'll still hear me.
No, I won't. I'll put my ears. I'll put my headphones on. Hey, baby. Do you want to plug my ears?
No. Give me a second.
Yes.
And who knows? This could change in the future. So,
That's fine.
So
I change.
keep that in mind.
I change voices all the time.
You're Stigmata, right?
Yeah, baby. I'm sweating.
Why?
Put my hair up.
That good.
No, I love him.
Yes.
A cagey answer, but fair enough. Sir, this is Stigmata. We've met before in the summer court while you were away. And the Fae gives like a little head bow and goes, Stigmata.
Oh, really pretty.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Does she go for it?
Yeah, she
Little hink.
yeah. And are they like really tall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like.
When you touch his hand, make an Arcana check real quick to see what you can tell with your Arcana. Oh, pretty decent, pretty good, better than your performance.
17.
Nice. When you make skin contact, you're briefly reminded of some other skin contact you made literally earlier today with Srunos. When you touched him, it was much more diluted, but it was a powerful, like almost pins and needles tingle of the sense of like powerful Fey magic. This is much more like acute, not in a painful way, but in a like, ooh, shivers down the spine.
Yeah.
This is an Archfey specifically.
Yeah.
Probably one of the more powerful ones you've personally met. You've seen others, though you haven't really been introduced to any. And he gently pulls his hand away as you release. Charmed, I'm sure.
You're really pretty.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
You're rather cute as well.
Thank you.
How do you know this little one? And Salvation kind of like gives a very clear roll of his eyes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Stigmata, is related to a member of the Wild Hunt, correct?
Yes. My mother is Shiloi, if you know of.
Salvation's face hasn't really changed since he vaguely knew that already. But you see right away the face, like the smile curls wider. Reputation, then. I love a good troublemaker.
All hails. That's mine.
Well, let's hope it runs in the family, then.
I guess we will find out. This is the first time I have been free of my shackles.
Lovely to hear in that case. You may call me the Count.
The Count.
Yes.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping...
Like the Count of Roses.
Like Count Chocula.
Sorry.
Shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say that.
She doesn't know about that yet.
Doesn't know that.
This is fuck. But you know, if you want to make a history check, you can. But just off the top of your head, the Court of Roses, because especially in the fake court, each of the, especially in the summer court, each of the individual courts, the different fays that lead the powerful areas, are named after different plants. And you know that one of the major ones is the Rose Court. So if this guy is the leader of one of the more major courts, he's probably a relatively big name, at least from your understanding.
Big fucking deal.
Like king energy.
No, wank.
Oh my god, royalty. What would I make a history check on?
You can make a history check if you want to, like, see if you recall more about maybe the specific guy.
Yes, I do. 16.
Jesus, pop off. You know, that the summer court and the winter court used to be a lot more intensely at war. In recent years, they've come to a lot more of an understanding. And you know, that's in part because when the previous master of the hunt, was, which you just recently found out was because of your mother.
Mama.
But you know that started off almost a chain reaction of disliked archfey and various leaders being either dethroned or disappeared or persuaded to behave themselves.
Why don't you take an early retirement?
Yeah, and you know that the Court of Roses was considered to be one of the main ones behind these things. Not in a war way, but in a pretty face, wrap the thorns around your throat. You're gonna do what we say kind of way.
Kind of hot.
You know that they're not one of the courts that likes just like step forward and makes themselves the leaders of things. They're happy to let everyone else do the talking, but are always watching and always listening. And your mother said to always be careful with someone of the Rose Court. Don't dislike them or be rude, but to just take care.
Yeah.
Because they could be very difficult to read and predict. So you don't recall much about this dude specifically, but you don't recall hearing about their leadership changing since that time. So presumably this was the guy that ordered all of that to happen. Well,
Girl boss shit.
I love him. My beloved.
Cool. Okay.
I have art of him from like 4 years ago. Somewhere.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let me find him again. Well, I hate to take up too much of your time, Stigmata. But I really should be retiring to my room since it's been such a long day. So I'm sure you can understand. Though, I'm sure dear Sal here, and he like pats Sal's upper arm, who immediately is like, would be happy to catch up with you if you do so wish. But I'm going to retire now. Have a lovely evening, Stigmata.
She does like a little like curtsy.
Curtsy?
She's wearing like she's like wearing like whatever.
Yeah.
She's literally probably like wearing what she's literally wearing what she woke up in.
Yeah.
She just like sticks her butt out.
Have a good meditation.
Yes. Thank you so much, dear. He like kind of continues past with this very like that elegant move of there is no up and down movement, so you're just like glide.
Oh my god, he's got a
Essek.
hoverboard. He's got a hoverboard. Wait. He said an Aztec, and I just imagine him standing on Aztec's shoulders. Glide really tall.
Yeah. But Salvation is quiet for a bit as the Count exits the room and then gives like a heavy. So, your brother's getting married, huh?
Uh-huh.
Exciting.
You're not a fan of weddings.
More like not a fan of. It has been a while since I've been back on Nexus, so a bit tense.
Well, it has been a long time since I have been on Nexus, because that has been never. So,
Exciting news for you then.
very exciting. So does this mean that you are in your off hours now?
I suppose so, yes.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It is.
Are you... You're nervous to be back.
I went to the Feywild a while ago, and was allowed to stay under certain conditions. The Count recently transferred my agreement to himself, and has made it clear that if I wish to leave his service, that is all right. However, at the moment I don't see any route to do so fittingly. So, here I am at the wedding of strangers.
Well,
Largely.
It's not super strangers, because you know me.
I do.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. More than I know your mother, at least. So
Well,
there's that.
Yes, not a lot of people, I think, know my mother that well. Me included.
I can sense the tension there.
Normal.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling it.
What's your energy level like?
Oh, like out of 10?
Yeah.
Like an 8.
Alright. You said you haven't been to Nexus before?
No. First time.
He, considers for a moment, and then, kind of sighs and shakes himself. Like a dog. I'm gonna go get dressed. I sort of wanted to go see what there was in the market. See what local news I might use to find out what I've missed. Would you like to join me in an excuse to go out and about?
Well, considering I sort of ditched the child who was supposed to follow me around, yes, I should probably also go change into something else.
Well, I can meet you back at the archway here in a few minutes.
Sure.
Alrighty. He kind of claps his hands together, rolls his shoulders, and heads off. What? Stop! He's had a long day.
Yeah.
But he heads off. When you enter your room, it's humble in the sense that it is not intensely decorated. It doesn't have personal touch. It is not humble in the sense that it is large. Your personal bedroom is probably about from here to there in about the same width. You have a queen size bed to yourself.
Big.
Yeah, there's a large
Armoire.
There's several chests for storage, and your belongings are being delivered tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, so there's that kind of pause of
I didn't bring anything.
I didn't bring anything, but you notice that the armoire is slightly open. Mm-hmm. Do you go look
Dress
inside?
up!
Dress up!
Yeah. Bust that baby open.
Yeah. Right away, taking one look inside. Because, maybe your assumption is maybe they heard I was a girl and they got me dresses. Or maybe they heard I like to fight and they just got me men's clothes. You open it, your mother definitely picked everything in here. Knowing what you like. You see, like, I don't know, you tell me Stigmata style.
Imagine, like, you know, like, she wears a lot of stuff in this, like, same kind of silhouettes as, like, just to briefly, sort of like traditional, like, Kazakhstan silhouettes. So, like, the short arms with, like very particular, like, wraps and, like, very nice, like, pieces. Like, they're not super, ornamental, but they are, like, they're practical. But definitely something that she can, like, run in.
Yeah.
And they're mostly, like, reds and, like, whites and yellows.
Nice.
Compliment her complexion.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how lavish I can get with it, you know?
Sorry. But you open it up and right away you can tell
It's a very neutral silhouette.
Yeah. You see a lot of, like, streamlined stuff like that. Some more elaborate things. From the... most of it seems to be, like, in the colors that you mentioned. You know, the red, the yellow, the white.
Yeah.
There are some things that are, like, of a darker tone. You see a couple cloaks that kind of have a dark emerald green sheen to them.
Yeah.
And you do notice there are, like, a handful of, like, maybe, like, max number 3 of more, like, simple, to the point dresses that could be worn for something fancy.
This is, like, the Kazakh silhouette.
Pop off.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, a more, like... There's options of, like, fancy outfits for both, like, feminine and masculine, because your mother was like, I don't know. just put options for both. But those are kind of, like, tucked to the side. There's a selection of shoes, even. If you so wanted. I don't know if you
What have I
like...
seen other people wearing?
You've seen, like, a lot of variety of styles.
Okay.
Most people seem to be in, like, a very neutral fantasy garb. The family, largely from what you've seen, wear a wider variety. Like, Ta was wearing, like, leather armor, but with, like, a lot of scarves over it, ties, that sort of thing. I mean, Ishu was wearing barely a dress and nothing else. Nichol, who you briefly saw, was wearing more, like, robes with the ill-fitting armor over it. Yasol was wearing, like, straight up, like, very clear, I am a wizard kind of thing. I do magic things.
Stigmata will basically, so she wears, like, this kind of, like, off orange, kind of like rust color, like, main piece that's, like, kind of a tabard almost.
She has leggings underneath it.
And then she has, like, a scarf that's like sort of red hemmed and has little frills hanging off it, like little gems, that she just wraps around herself and her shoulders, and has a little hood. And she pins it in place, and that's what she wears.
I love she.
Yeah, and it just has, like, these little pieces hanging off it, and it's like nice but not super formal, but it's also like,
yeah,
she's going to, it's like church.
Yeah,
church clothes.
All right, you head back out, and waiting for you at the archway is Salvation. He's wearing, like, a nicer pair of pants, some heavy boots. He has got on, like, a skin-tight black shirt and a blue button-up over it that is done down, almost all the way down. He's kind of, like, just standing waiting, and he seems to be, like, fiddling with this, like, wide leather bracelet around his wrist, which you can see has a lot of like faintly glowing embroidery. You can see like some faint rose patterns to it. And he kind of pauses for a moment to fidget with something under the hem of his shirt, some like kind of cord there. And he straightens up as you approach. Stigmata. Maybe we can find some food you haven't tried before, or...
This is highly likely.
Probably. Come on. He leads you
She
out.
also brushed her hair.
Pop off. Go off, queen. Girl boss shit.
Yeah.
He actually takes you out a back entrance, because he's saying, like, there's a lot of hubbub up at the front right now. But you guys spend some time out at the market. You try a fair amount of food you hadn't tried before. There's this one in particular that the merchant, the shopkeep, insists to both of you is like the local favorite dessert. It is a long stick of dough that is covered in like sugar and cinnamon. Very tasty, crunchy.
Wow. Insane.
Listen, I'm craving it right now.
Me too.
It's on my mind.
It's also on my mind. We should go get churros.
Yeah. I was sitting here like, I was like, oh, what's a fun like
The place on the street.
like a fun street food that I could input. Churros. There's also some like essentially dry ice cream. Salvation just like kind of presses a few gold coins down. You two spend some time taste testing things, chit-chatting about like the basics.
I want to ask him a question.
Yeah.
She starts dragging him around at some point. Like, very much like
Next thing. Let's go.
kind of thing. And eventually, she takes them to like sit down for a second. Because he's such an old man. He's so obviously overwhelmed by the situation. Obviously. And she's young. You know, she's like, young go-getter, like 19. Let's like fucking go. So she's probably older than that, but that's like her.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you had to leave the material plane.
Yes.
What was your favorite thing?
In general, or
About here, this place. Not like specifically. So what's this place called? Soren. Not specifically Soren, but the material plane in general, I guess.
I hadn't been to Sorum before this. This is my first time here. I would say the people, some specific people, but if we're going to talk more broadly, in the Feywild, you can certainly find good people, kind people, genuine people, but you just always have to be careful. And I guess I missed the feeling of feeling like I truly knew someone.
That's your favorite thing about the material plane?
I guess I distracted myself there. There's a difference between your favorite thing and the thing you missed most.
So, what is your favorite thing? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm very curious now.
Well, if we're gonna say thing and not person or place, don't know.
But you do have a favorite person or place then. It's not nothing to be ashamed of. I have favorite things in the Feywilds.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my favorite person with me though.
Mm-hmm.
My little brother.
Oh, here I was wondering if you'd say yourself. That's a joke.
Well, they brought me too. My favorite place in the Feywilds was probably my bed.
Fair. When I left Nexus a good few years ago now, I had to leave behind probably the only people that I cared about. 3 people. So I certainly miss the 3 of them a lot.
Well, you're here now.
It's not that simple, but
Well, maybe it's not that simple. Maybe I don't really know anything.
Before I left, I made some choices. I don't regret them. But let's just say I lied to somebody who found out, and I got in a lot of trouble for it. And the only way out of, to put it nicely, getting my head chopped off was to agree to something very specific. So I agreed, and then like a coward I ran away so I didn't have to do that.
Well, you know, the Fae can't lie.
This is true.
So maybe that's something fun that you can take away from living in the Feywilds.
Not lie.
Maybe you cannot lie. And maybe you can... No, yeah, I think the lesson is just don't lie.
Well, if I hadn't lied, someone I love very much would have been murdered, so...
Well, maybe in that case lying is okay. Are they okay?
He kind of like fidgets with something in his pocket, pulls it out, and there's a folded letter he's holding. He kind of like tilts it back and forth, considers it. I'm hoping to find out in the next few days.
Cool. Well, I hope that everything is okay with them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you two are like kind of momentarily like quiet, considering his words, you considering his words, kind of like the right. There is a little bit of hubbub. Now, when you had left the manor, Salvation had mentioned that it was rather busy at the front gates right now, that something was going on, and just kind of, you two avoided it. You had noticed as you went through town that there was less Onyx clan members around than there had been when you were walking through it, being brought to the manor by Yasol. And you still don't see any. But you hear some horse hooves on the cobblestone, which isn't odd, but it is a fair amount of horses, and both of you kind of like look up, peer down the street some, and see a group of people riding down on horses. They're in suits of armor. There is like an emblem on the sides of their shoulders that you don't recognize, of like a very like squared off helmet insignia. And they're riding in, and one of them kind of like pulls his horse to a stop, and holds up like a scroll of paper, lets it unfurl, and there's a drawing of somebody with short horns and like short cropped hair, with this like very intense expression, and he starts shouting to the townsfolk, if you've seen this person, report it immediately by order of iron conscription.
Hear ye, hear ye.
This person is a danger to you all. Murder on the loose. And they start like passing around to townspeople, saying, and Salvation kind of like straightens up beside you. That doesn't bode well.
What's the iron conscription?
The Iron Conscription is a military group that attempts to keep the peace in the more dangerous areas of Nexus, which is most places.
Attempts?
Sometimes they fail, sometimes they make it worse. There are a good amount of times where they do help, but they are very stubborn and do things their way. So it can be quite a mixed bag. And it really depends on the person, even if you think their solutions work or not. As far as I knew, they didn't have a large presence here. Just a small battalion, I was told, but apparently there's more here now.
They sound sort of angry.
They do. If there is a murderer on the loose, you should probably get back. Barkeep, tab please.
I'm very good at not being murdered.
Good to hear. He gets the check from the place you guys had stopped to eat at. Takes care of it.
Yeah, she doesn't try.
Yeah. She doesn't have money.
Yeah, she doesn't have fucking money. For the moment, she's like...
And he kind of stands and gestures for you to follow as he begins walking back. As you're going, you roll me a perception check.
Anything for you, my...
Piss boy.
Perception?
Yes. Jesus Christ.
26.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ned's gonna be mad.
Yeah. What's your perception? Go off.
22.
Go off. You see as you're walking, one of the soldiers who's questioning people, is saying something about last spotted with, and then he seems to see you, and notice something specific about you, and he kind of tilts his head, and then dismounts from his horse.
What does this guy look like?
Regular,
okay.
Nondescript, soldier, approaches and says, Friend, if I could just ask you a question,
I'm not
please.
a friend.
I apologize, I don't want to assume gender. I'm kidding, he doesn't do that. I apologize.
She slips back into cell.
Townsfolk. You are a member of the Onyx clan, yes? And he gestures to your snake scale bracers.
Yes, I am a member of the Onyx clan.
Lovely. There is a very dangerous criminal on the loose who we suspect has arrived in town and was last seen with an Onyx clan member who has since gone missing. We are concerned that possibly this person also murdered him as well. So we wanted to inquire. You haven't seen anyone of this description, right? And he holds up the poster to you.
Nope.
Now, if we could just, of course, I'm sure you'll grant us entry to the Onyx clan. We'd really love to speak with the Patriarch as soon as possible.
That's not really... I'm new to this, so I don't really want my mom to, get in trouble or anything. So you probably want to ask, somebody else who has a bit more authority, because I just got here.
Well, I'm sure that you can introduce us to someone, right? And he, grabs your wrist.
Let go of me.
I'm sorry. This is of the most urgent matter possible. We need to spare innocent lives at all costs.
She looks at Sal.
Sal is looking more uncomfortable with every passing second and, like, steps forward. Alright, I think that you should just let go. We're not involved with whatever's going on. We're just guests of the Onyx clan. If you have business with them, go take that up with them. The soldier kind of, like, looks taken aback for a second and slowly lets go of your hand. Right. Can I have your name, please? Both of you. Sal, like, kind of gives you a look.
Marty Jr.
Oh, deception check.
It's gonna be bad. She's not trying to hide that she's lying.
I want to see a deception.
She's
-2.
10.
She's like smiling when she does it though. Like it's just like
Yeah. The soldier gets immediately this, like...
she's dingy.
Gets this, like... Oh, so you're hiding something expression. And he, like, puts a hand on his sword scabbard and kind of, like, jerks his chin, and some of the other soldiers, like, notice and begin to head over. If you know something, you should really report it to us right away. Otherwise, any innocent lives lost could be on your head.
Okay.
She fucking.
I think it's best if you came with us to speak with our commander.
I'm not going
Feels
to
like we're not getting the whole story here.
I'm not going to do that.
And he waves, and some of the soldiers start to approach quicker, and Salvation's like, right. He, like, hooks his arm.
I'm gonna run.
You're running?
I'm like, oh, we're going, Dad.
Are you pulling him with you? Or
Yeah, I grab his arm and we're going. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, you two begin to take it off down the road. You hear the soldiers behind you start going, hey, hold on. And some horses are and begin to gallop off after you.
Down like narrow like ways and
Yeah, do a little monk down a hallway.
shit. Fucking push.
Yeah. Salvation almost needs to stumble for a moment, but he does his best to keep up with you. I'm sure you're much faster than him, but...
Yeah, I can move very fast.
I'm sure.
Because if I use cheat key points, I can do Step of the Wind as a bonus action, so I can get 120 feet in one round.
Jesus Christ. Blazing.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you begin to book it. Make sure I don't lose track of where I am. Alright.
This is long. I'm enjoying it.
You two begin to book it.
Yes.
Are you heading in the direction that you remember the manor is? Are you just looking for somewhere to hide? What's the plan?
I don't remember the way to the manor.
Mm-hmm.
So probably just somewhere to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Like duck and cover.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Okay. Dice. 17.
Alright. You are looking for somewhere to hide, maybe looking for a shop that has its doors open and looks like it might have somewhere dark. What catches your gaze is a wagon that is being driven down the road up ahead of you, and you can see kind of like burnt into the fabric on the side of it, like this sort of emblem is a curled snake, and driving it is somebody in like an outfit very reminiscent to some of the gang members that you've seen.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't think Stigmata knows that it's like a criminal gang.
Right.
Just knows it's kind of like the Onyx clan. Don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
But they sure are a thing.
They didn't catch me up to speed on the dubious nature of their legality.
Yes, yes.
Oh, legal. What's legal? I don't know.
Yeah. When one of your members is the mayor of the town, what is legal?
Yeah, honestly. I'm gonna dive into the wagon. I'm gonna run up behind it and just fucking
yeah.
Like, whoa!
You are light on your feet.
Yes.
As a monk. So it's relatively easy for you to dive and right through like the lip in the fabric. And the driver doesn't seem to notice. And then Salvation hops on. And the wagon like still keeps going, but there's like a very obvious dip. And the driver goes, hey, what was that?
Can I like peek out the...
Yeah.
I like stick my arm out.
Mm-hmm.
with
the bracers. He takes a look. He sees the soldiers coming and goes, the cops.
The pigs.
The pigs.
The pigs got me.
and like snaps the reins, and immediately the horses of the wagon start to take off. I won't make us do like a whole chase scene, but it is a chase scene where at one point like the driver's like, "Oh, throw out the cargo, we gotta get lighter." You and Salvation like shoving these barrels at the back. And you see the manor, the gates are thrown open, you guys are rushed inside, they slam behind you, you can hear like shouting and stuff. It becomes like a whole thing where your mother comes out. It's like, alright, let's get you inside. Suffice to say, the next few days are a bit stressful, as it seems that these soldiers are looking for someone specific. You manage to find out from Nichol a few days later that the clan does know where this person is, as it is an ally of theirs that they're hiding. But it's all political. Nichol doesn't know the details beyond that. Over the next few days, you meet the last few members of the family that you had not met yet. Mainly the patriarch and matriarch, Seitzi and Richu. Both of them are very excited to meet you. Very, very sweet, very welcoming. They seem excited to have another grandchild. And they don't even treat
a granddaughter. Rare for you, innit?
Exactly. They don't even treat it like oh, you're like an added bit of the package of getting another grandchild. They're instantly like, oh no, you're our grandchild too. Like, this is not a like, oh, you are step. No, you count.
I matter.
And Ishu seems to, in general, take that point of view similarly. Like, to her, it doesn't seem a matter of blood. It's more a matter of your level of comfort. Like, she'd call you her daughter right now if she thought you were comfortable with it.
Fair.
But a lot of them spend like time trying to get to know you over the next couple days. We can talk about that more in detail later.
Yeah.
But
Mama.
Yeah. 5 days before the wedding, guests have been arriving. More fae have come. Some fancy, some less fancy. Some people that you're distinctly like, friends from the Wild Hunt. Yeah, you can go to the next song.
Oh, OST all?
You can loop it. Sorry, girl. I appreciate you. You and your mother are at the seamstress with your soul. Getting your mother's outfit, which is kind of like essentially a pantsuit, but with like a long skirt back, done up. There's embroidered bits of like frost and snowflakes and stuff like that. Do you think Stigmata is like, what sort of outfit would you envision Stigmata wearing for this? Because you've been invited to essentially be low-key a bridesmaid. They're not calling it like bridesmaid and groomsman and stuff like that, but
dude, I don't know.
That sort of position.
Dude.
Fair enough.
What she wears.
Fair enough.
Why is there a bunch of like, my man?
Because Pinterest knows what you're about.
Pardon me, boorah.
Pinterest knows what you're about.
Yeah, for real. She probably wears like, I don't think she wears a dress. I think she wears like very high-waisted pants with like a very like intricate like belt. And then like a little shirt with puffy sleeves. And a high collar that's like really that goes out sort of. And then like some kind of metal corsetry.
Hell
That's
yeah.
like gold. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Then you're similarly getting fitted for that. Chatting back and forth. Your mother kind of like glances over at you as she's like, somebody's fussing with her sleeve, and she's like, it's fine. I like it already. Like, you don't need more.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And she looks at you. Stigmata. There is, of course. Yeah, hell yeah.
This kind of thing.
Yes.
But like less rib cagey.
Yeah, like that one. Or
Like,
I guess that's still rib cagey.
yeah, it's like this kind of style.
Oh fuck yeah.
But like the whole chest.
Hell
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Pog.
Yeah.
But she focuses on you. Stigmata.
Yes, Mama.
I don't want to pressure you in any sort of way. And of course when I invite you here, I do to the intent. And that you would stay with me. You are my daughter and I care about you very much. However, you are also an adult.
Yes.
So I don't want you to feel pressured that there is some sort of expectation that you must live here, that you can't go back to the Feywild if you wish, or go elsewhere entirely, that there is some sort of expectation that you help out the clan's business, or not, or anything of the sort. Do you have any thoughts of what you might like to do? Or are you just content to see how things go?
I am honestly just mostly waiting to see how things go. I don't think I'm ready to leave things that are totally familiar. So things like you and Tanda. But I like it here so far. Maybe it's different with all the wedding preparations happening, but so far it's not so bad. And the master of the hunt, he said I could come back whenever I want. So
Alright. I'm perfectly content with that. Of course, I love to have my dear daughter nearby. And to the protest of one of the seamstresses, she kind of like pulls her hand away and like puts it on her cheek and gives a little, a little, but also I don't want you to feel trapped or anything of the sort by expectations or otherwise.
I know.
I love you, my heart.
I love you too, Mama.
Just so you know, I'm adopting Salvation as my paternal figure.
Yeah, understandable. Speaking of which, I did want to ask. I've been hearing rumors that you've gone around the living spaces of some members of the Court of Roses recently.
Oh.
Is there anything I should know about, my dear?
I talked very briefly to, what was his name? I don't think he gave me his name. I think he called himself the Count.
I will say that is typical for Archfey.
Because, right,
They can't give out
real names,
Yeah.
Tower and shit. The Count of Roses spoke briefly with him. Very nice, I guess. He said that you were a troublemaker, and then also implied that I was as well, but then I said that, oh, you don't really know me or anything that I've done. And there is also Salvation.
I believe I recall him.
He's like, you know?
I don't.
Okay.
But alright.
He's kind of old looking. He has horns and a face.
A face,
Yes.
indeed.
And he has a very tight shirt. And he always fiddles with something around his neck.
I'm assuming out of character that over the last, essentially 2 weeks, you've tell me if I'm incorrect, but maybe spent time
I have been
hanging out with
trailing
him,
him around him. When I'm not with my little brother or other members of the family. Yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm glad I made a correct assumption.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm adopting him.
New father.
Yeah.
New father just dropped. Who this?
New dad just dropped.
Right. Well, if you decide you're curious about following them back to the Court of Roses, you of course have my support.
Oh, no. I still don't want to be part of a court.
All right. Fair enough. Well, it looks like we're done here. And she kind of like pulls off the last bit of lace, and the seamstress is like, like going to catch it. Right. I think all these things all look so nice, and I enjoy them in the short term, but I could never dress like this all the time.
I could.
Dresses and lace.
Oh, not like you. I mean, like me.
Ah, understandable. But why don't we head on back? Yosol, are you all done yet? And Yosol looks up from where they're like getting tried for like a new pair of heels. Yes. Thank you so much. Just send us the bill later. We'll take care of it. And they stand up. You guys have been like served free wine during this,
it's wedding shit.
little
baby.
finger sandwiches. Yeah, exactly.
Rich wedding people shit.
Exactly. And the three of you begin to walk back. You occasionally have like guards around you guys. Nothing like intense, but more like people lingering in the area. Playing it chill. But as you three exit the seamstress' shop, the center of town isn't far from here. There's like a fountain. There's like a cobblestone area where apparently if there's like ever like a traveling circus or, you know, something of that kind of idea sets up there. And there seems to be a crowd there right now. And they're making a bit of a commotion. And just over the top of people's heads, you can make out like the top edge of like some wooden platform. There's a man standing on it talking loudly. There's a pair of armored knights, and they're holding somebody in between them. And it's too far away for you to really make out details. But you hear this like shout of fear, and then everything seems to slow as you see a spray of blood up on the stage. And one of the figures collapses. And people begin to shout in fear. And I need you to make a constitution saving throw.
I don't think this is gonna be that good.
12. Alright. Everything starts to blur around you. It becomes this very like spacey feeling of not really sure what in the moment is real, and you find yourself collapsing. Right away your mother's like grabbing you. Stigmata, what, are you alright?
Am I like conscious still?
You're falling unconscious. What would
Okay.
you like to say?
Apparently I don't like blood.
Are you alright?
Wait, no, I love blood.
As you're saying this, there's this like feeling of being being pulled back mentally, and also like somebody has taken the like volume setting of, metaphorically speaking, someone has taken the volume setting of your will, your personhood, and is slowly turning it down. Quieter and quieter. What are your last words to your mother?
It's probably something stupid. It's probably just like she's sort of going in and out a little bit more, but she's like trying to grab her mom. And she just looks at her mom, and she just says in a very quiet voice,
I'm really dizzy.
The last thing you see is your mother kind of like starting to hold you close to her, kind of curling over you and laying you gently on the cobblestones. Kind of all sound fading away as you hear her calling. You see also like waving for somebody to come and help. And you open your eyes to find yourself in a white space. It's largely empty and kind of like hazy. You can't really see like the edges. And you're not sure how long you're there for. It's that kind of like experience of like every time you blink, you're not sure how much time passes. But you're aware that you're standing there. You don't even really have the option to decide to move or call out or anything of the sort. And then you blink again and you're aware you're not alone. You can feel the pressure of eyes on you from behind you. And you have your facilities about you again. What would you like to do? Stigmata. The original Stigmata.
Okay. So I'm just in like an empty space.
Yeah.
Can I T-pose?
Yeah.
And turn around?
Yeah. Standing there is someone of average height. Scroll through all my notes to grab there. Literally. Pale gray skin, short gray hair, and this kind of fluttering pale blue robe about them. There is
Shot through the heart!
There's this very noticeable, like, kind of rotating halo around them, almost like a large glowing white hoop with like faint beams of light stretching out from it. And these like threads that seem attached to their fingers but fade out of sight the further it gets away. And they're kind of just silently watching you and kind of tilt their head as if like thinking.
Stigmata like looks over his shoulder.
Yes, you. You will do.
Okay.
Let me get a better look at you.
Well, am I?
They just laugh, hold up their hand, and you see the threads on their finger kind of tighten as they pull. And you feel yourself kind of like be slowly turned, as if inspected. And when you're facing them again, they seem to release these invisible threads. You will do. You have sufficient abilities. Good. Was on a bit of a time crunch. Wasn't expecting to have to do this again. Well, give me your hands.
I get the feeling that it's not really a matter of opinion on my part. So, okay.
They take them, and their fingers are ice cube cold. And you've encountered many cold things. You've met many people of the Winter Corps.
She's pretty cold.
Exactly. You've met, like, literal beings of pure ice before. This is colder than that in a way that seems to, like, sap your warmth away. And when they touch you, they kind of pause for a moment and then smile. That makes this interesting. Could work out in our favor then. Does this seem agreeable to you? And you see like this almost shimmering indistinct form take place for a moment. For a moment they look like a broad-shouldered man with ginger hair and a beard. And then it kind of shifts and you see a young woman with dirty blonde hair, maybe light brown. She looks just a little sad and gives a little nod and then disappears. Good. Well, Stigmata. Lovely meeting you for what little time we had. Goodbye. And then they put a hand on your chest and push. And you feel yourself almost crash through glass, being pushed and pushed and pushed. And you feel a thud of you impacting something. You are aware of your body. You're on a bed. There's blankets around you. You are faintly aware of some people whispering at your bedside, being like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, can you maybe get the opinion of a different healer? Like, it's been hours. And no response at all. There's no damage taken. And you try to say something. Maybe, twitch a finger, reach out, open your eyes. It feels like your body almost isn't your own anymore. And it feels like somebody else is almost in this space with you. And you feel something in your body change and shift. And you start feeling these new memories trickle in and shift and intermingle with yours. You feel the pain of dying, and then living, and then dying, and then living. You don't know how many times. A cycle of unknown length, and each death and new life that you recall, it quiets your memories of your own, and even the memories of these ones you're recalling right now. And in your last moment of true clarity, of being just yourself, you know that you alone are no more. You are now part of a whole. And you are... When you do open your eyes, you are overwhelmed with this feeling of being overwritten, and this cup that has just overflowed with lifetimes of memories and pain and death. Because the old Stigmata is no more. Because now you are a hunter. Like your mother, but of a different sort. A blood hunter. That's where we'll end your session 0. I'm sorry.